Hi, so I want to take you through. You've come to the point in this unit of the Havdalah where you're ready to create your Elijah stories and learn about Elijah. So I just want to take you through a little bit of that process. So first of all, um, the steps here are you're going to first read stories and watch the one video about Elijah. So you're going to be learning about Elijah, who he is, by reading the stories. There's a booklet that goes with that. You're going to talk about the parts of an Elijah story. You're going to play the Elijah story Mad Libs game to kind of create a story as a class. Then you're going to vote as a class on how many stories will be written, one or two. You're going to have a story creation day with some voting. So you're going to invite Rabbi Light in for that day to help out. Everyone gets a story that he or she's working on and personalizes it by filling in the gaps. You're going to add a title and dedication, divide the story into 10 parts, and then start your writing process. So I just want to kind of show you, kind of take you through that for a second. Let's kind of move on here if we can. Okay, so here we go. So first of all, there are 7 Elijah stories with worksheets, and you're going to probably want to print these out as a separate booklet or work on it on the PowerPoint with the class. The booklets can be found. It can be found here by clicking on there in your in the PowerPoint. When you finish the stories, you're going to want to set up a time for Rabbi Light to come in and to kind of do the next step. So here are the Elijah stories here. So there's first one like I am Elijah and a little bit of a worksheet that goes with it. There's a tale number 1 worksheet, tale number 2 worksheet, tale number 3 worksheet, tale number 4 worksheet, number 5 worksheet. Okay, so this is going to give them, and if you want to split these up into, you can even start these kind of things more in the beginning of the class. Um, and then we have this kind of great Elijah story, which is great. Um, and then you're going to do this kind of Elijah Mad Libs. Um, you're going to do this kind of Elijah Mad Libs game where they're going to kind of pick these things and they'll be fun. They'll place them into the story itself. It'll give them a sense of how an Elijah story works. So there's kind of one other one. Here's a document that's going to help the student groups plan their Elijah story. You're going to actually have either the class is going to decide they're going to write one story altogether, or they're going to divide up into 2 groups and kind of plan that story. And they're going to use this document, and I can help with that as well. So here is an example of kind of a story that started to be that was written after the planning event, and still there were some blanks there that each individual kid had to fill in. And then from there, we kind of got to a place like this in the story where we wanted to allow them to personalize. So we kept these, and then we brought these to the kids, and they kind of each kind of wrote their name and filled in these pieces. And then we kind of I took those and I would fill in those blanks. Then I would bring it back to them, and then they kind of here's like the different steps. I read the story from beginning to end. I filled in the missing pieces. I filled in the missing green boxes with sentences. I decided on this title of the story. I decided who I'll dedicate the story to, because, and then I divide the story up into pieces. So here you see a finished story now divided up into pieces, and each of these will need a picture connected with it. 10 pictures, 10, and this is kind of what they kind of use to make their pictures. This part was actually really hard, so we might just want to kind of add the sentences here, because but I want them to plan the pictures before they kind of go to their final story. So here, and they're going to get a title page that looks like this, and then they're going to get every page and there are 10 pages total. Each will have a place for a picture and a place for their writing, and that's kind of the entire entire story itself. So by this video, you should be able to kind of understand what you need to do for the Elijah story. Right? Thanks.